This is Gary. Gary is a teacher. He likes giving presentations in his class. Gary makes all sorts of presentations for his students. But Gary's students find his presentations boring and hard to understand, and he doesn't know why. This makes Gary sad. Maybe we can help him find some things to improve in his latest presentation. Let's check it out.
Playing the recorder. When blowing into the recorder, be sure to use a steady stream of gentle air. Don't huff and puff. Your air should be as if you were blowing a big bubble or blowing the flame of a candle gently enough to bend it but not extinguish it.
Oh, Gary, even you know that's not very good. But don't worry, we can help you. Have you ever heard of Meyer's 12 Principles of Multimedia? No? Well, then let us fill you in. In 2009, Dr. Richard Mayer did some research about how people learn best using multimedia. Some of his findings are listed here in his 12 principles. Let's see which of these we can apply to Gary's presentation. Let's start with the voice principle. Taking out that robotic voice will help the learners feel more engaged as they watch Gary's presentation. Then we'll focus on the signaling principle and add a header to Gary's first slide so the learning will feel more organized. Next, we'll follow the coherence principle and take out all the extra words and use bullet points so that the focus of the slide is clear to the learners. In another application of the coherence principle, let's take out that busy background and switch to a nice contrasting font color. Next, to keep it from getting boring, we're going to add in the modality principle and put some graphics in our presentation. Once we add in some pictures and maybe even some video, we'll move on to the personalization principle and add in a conversational narrative. That way the students will feel more like they're talking to a friend and less like they're listening to a lecture. Gary, are you ready to see your new presentation? Well, here you go. In order to play the recorder correctly, you need to use the proper air. It has to be a steady stream of focused air, like when you blow bubbles. You want your air to be in one stream that's aimed down towards the ground, and it needs to be your gentle, warm air like the kind you'd use to make a big bubble. When blowing into your recorder, you want to use the kind of air that would bend the flame of the candle, not the kind that would blow it all the way out. The warm, gentle air that bends the flame will be perfect to make a beautiful tone and keep you from squeaking on your recorder. Oh, Gary, you liked it? And look, your students did too. What do you think about presentations now? You like them even more? Well, then don't stop there. Why not extend the learning? You could post your presentation on social media so that students could comment or discuss on it. You could even assign them questions to answer. Maybe they could make their own presentations in response. You can also use your new skills to create new styles of presentations, maybe a slideshow or a user interface tour. Software demonstrations or informational films are also interesting. Or perhaps you just want to augment a presentation you've already got. Or you could try my favorite presentation style, storytelling. Why would you use stories in class, you wonder? Well, they have a great emotional impact and they can share meaningful knowledge in an engaging and motivating way. They can give meaning to abstract data and take your students' minds out of the classroom when their bodies have to stay there. Good instructional stories are simple but have an important purpose and are relatable to the students. Educational stories come in all shapes and sizes. Maybe you'd want to tell a problem-based story. Maybe you'd like to tell a problem-based story where the main character has a problem that they have to solve. Or perhaps a scenario-based story would be better for you, in which a protagonist is put in a situation that they have to overcome. In a narrative-based story, the basic story arc follows the main character's point of view. And in a case-based narrative, there is a problem left at the end for students to solve themselves. Whatever kind of story you choose to tell, make sure that you think about your instructional learning goals before you get involved in creating your key elements and your storytelling arc. Absorb activities such as presentations, readings, field trips, and stories by the teacher are best for highly motivated learners. Absorb activities are efficient methods to update, extend, and enhance the knowledge that students already have about a subject. While it may seem that learners are physically passive while reading, listening to, or watching a presentation, they're actually quite mentally active. The nearly pure information that was created by the teacher will enable them to obtain critical, up to date information that they will need to further their education. Well, Gary, I hope you're ready to create new types of presentations and do new activities with your students to engage them and help them be motivated learners. I can't wait to see what you produce next.